Gather around, children, as I tell you the story of Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, so far this season, has, in my opinion, been having the most statistically historic season of all time. In terms of great individual seasons, you have to count the postseason, but I'm talking about regular season statistically. This is the greatest season any NBA player has ever had, any time, ever. Russell Westbrook is averaging 31.6 points per game. Now that's first in the league. 10.7 rebounds per game. That's 10th in the league, but obviously first by all guards, so that's shooting guards and point guards. He's averaging 10.4 assists per game, which is third in the league, and that's only to John Wall and James Harden, who both have under 1 assist per game more. He's averaging 1.63 steals per game, which is okay. That's pretty average actually. And some people say that he has too many turnovers, which is 5.4 TPG, which is true. That's second in the league to James Harden, but he's got the highest usage rate in the NBA. So usually when you're the number one option on your team and you have the highest usage rate, people are going to key on you and you're going to have just a few turnovers a game. So the crazy thing is though, he's doing all of this in 34.6 minutes per game. And that's 20th in the league. He's 20th in the league in minutes per game. Leading the league in points, assists, 20th in the league in minutes per game. Let that sink in a second, alright? He's played 81 games this season. 81 games. Only missed one game. And LeBron's like sitting out for no reason. Westbrook is carrying his team to the 6th seed by playing 81 games. He's averaging .425 from the field, .343 from 3-point land. That just happened to have had a lot of threes in it. And .845 from the free throw line. So he's an 85% free throw shooter. His PER rating, or player efficiency rating, is 30.7, which is first in the league by quite a lot. So obviously that means in the small amount of time he's got out there, he's making the most of it. My cigar's out of rats. He has 1,941 field goal attempts, which is first in the NBA, and 840 free throw attempts, which is also, actually that's second in the NBA to James Harden, I'm fairly sure. So, I mean, he's putting up a lot of shots, of course, but let me get this. If you put up 1,941 shots in a season, just under 2,000, and you shot .425 from the field, I guarantee you, putting up a lot of shots a game, ask Kobe, ask Harden, you're not going to have a very high amount of field goal percentage putting up that many shots. And it's not like the Thunder, they do it like, look, they got Oladipo, they've got a few other 3-point shooters that on their team that Westbrook kicks it out to. But the thing is, what I'm trying to get at is most of the defense will put their strongest defender on Westbrook, like they always put Kawhi Leonard on Westbrook, Draymond Green on Westbrook whenever he has the ball, or Klay Thompson, but definitely not Curry. And it's just, he somehow figures out how to get that many shots up a game and still put up .425 from the field, and that's just ridiculous. Now, a stat that not many people know about is box plus minus. And this is, his box plus minus this season is 15.5, which is first in the league. The second box plus minus in the league is James Harden, 10.1. Now, for me to explain to you what this box plus minus is, I'll give you the definition from basketballreference.com. It says, BPM, or box plus minus, is a box score based metric system for evaluating a player's quality and contribution to the team. Russell Westbrook's BPM, as I said, was 15.5. The second best BPMs in NBA history are 12.5 and 13.0, LeBron and Michael Jordan. So he has the best box plus minus of all time. And that's when, I know back in Oscar Robertson's day and Wilt Chamberlain's day, they didn't have all the stats to make up a proper BPM, but today's NBA is a lot less scoring average than back then, so let's be honest, it wouldn't make much of a difference. Now, I predicted that Russell Westbrook had MVP potential in like 2012, but I still could not believe what's happening right now. Why is Westbrook suddenly breaking out now? Well, Westbrook could always put up stats like this, but the one thing that stopped him was the criticism that he had when he tried to outshine Kevin Durant his team. So when Kevin Durant left last year, it was pretty much that one chain on Westbrook broke free. And I'm not saying Durant made Westbrook play less. If anything, Durant made Westbrook play better. But every time Westbrook tried to outshine Durant, whether it was shooting, whether it was holding the ball too much for assists, he would get criticism from Oklahoma City and the league worldwide because Durant was the superstar on that team. So it's like Kyrie Irving trying to outshine LeBron or Pippen trying to outshine Jordan. The second that you start putting up better stats than them, people are going to say, alright, calm down dude, you're not the superstar on this team. As Westbrook averaged a triple-double through the first quarter of the season, I thought for sure he'd burn out or get injured, something will happen. There's no way he's holding this through the entire season. There's just no way. Something's going to happen. And then the first triple-double average was 55 years ago, back in the time where the league was averaging over 110 points per game in every match. So, I mean, that was a bit weird. But Westbrook actually managed to average a triple-double the entire season, which is absolutely insane. Now, one of the criticisms that Westbrook gets was that Westbrook's teammates help him stat pad his rebounds. Like, they have clips online where they have, like, when on a free throw, Steven Adams lets Russell Westbrook get the rebound, but you guys don't understand that when Westbrook gets the rebound over their center, it's beneficial for their team, so Westbrook can start the fast break immediately rather than Adams getting or Cantor or whoever's on the boards, grabbing the rebound and then passing to Westbrook and then getting the fast break started. Or Westbrook having to run back down the court to get the ball off Adams to start the fast break. It's beneficial for Westbrook to actually grab the rebound himself to split that time. So what you guys don't understand is, yes, they were stat padding, but the reason wasn't to get him a triple-double. The reason was to start the fast break. So you guys don't say that he stat padded. And even if it was the opposite and that wasn't a reason, which it is a reason, but even if it wasn't, it's only for one rebound a game. And that would still put him on pace for the greatest season of all time. He just wouldn't be averaging a triple-double. Anyways, he had 4 50-point games this season. That's number 1 in the NBA, league high. And 3 of those 50-point games came in triple-doubles. He's had some of the clutchest games this season, literally willing his team, scoring the last 20 points in some scenarios, willing his team. And have you seen some of those crazy 3-point shots he takes? Like, it's just insane, and only a superstar can take that. And I honestly think he's been the clutchest in the league this season. And you could argue Isaiah Thomas, you could argue maybe Jimmy Butler, even though the Bulls have been on and off. Butler's always been really clutch, but I think Russell Westbrook actually has been the most clutch in the league this season. He's obviously, as you guys know, he beat Oscar Robertson's record. He scored 52 or 57 points and had the triple-double. And now he has 42 triple-doubles in a season, which is obviously the most in NBA history, which is crazy for this time. And he did have a 57-point triple-double. I think it was early in the season, though. That's actually the highest triple-double point scoring in NBA history. He also had the first triple-double where he didn't miss a point from the field, and he went 6 for 6 in that game. So Westbrook is easily the front runner for MVP. He already has the scoring title, okay? So even if he doesn't get the MVP, he still has the scoring title. But say he does get the MVP. Since 1985, the lowest seed of an NBA team to ever get the MVP was MJ in 1988, and the Bulls were the 3rd seed, okay? Every other MVP has been a 2nd or 1st seed since then. The Thunder are the 6th seed. So this would actually even change the entire NBA, the way they vote for MVP, for everything. Because if you vote for James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, you're voting against Russell Westbrook. And can you actually vote against Russell Westbrook this season? I honestly don't think you do. Thunder win more than 70% of the games where Russell Westbrook gets a triple-double, and they lose most of them when he doesn't. So stat padding, saying triple-double, yeah, but you know how you're going to help your team win? Well, there you go. However, to say Russell Westbrook's had the greatest season of all time, I don't think he has had the greatest individual season of all time. I think you're going to have to give it to LeBron, who willed his team to the finals in maybe 2008, was it? He just carried his team that whole season, all throughout the finals. That could be one. It could be Wilt Chamberlain's statistical season. I don't think it is, or Oscar Robertson's. They both had crazy years in, like, I think it was 1966 or something. But back then, as I said, there was a huge average game. It was a completely different game back then to it was now. But I believe statistically, this is the best season we've ever seen an NBA player do. And we look back 10 years' time, we'll be like, wow, do you guys remember Russell Westbrook's 16-17 season? Yeah, I watched it live, and he will go down for a while as the greatest statistical season of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment. Actually, you don't have to like or comment, but subscribe if you want. Peace!